reach out to those that want to learn and practice independence and self-reliance. We are the Prepper Broadcasting Network.
Hello, everyone out there in Internet Radio Land. This is Dave Jones, the NBC guy, coming to you early morning on Thursday. I couldn't sleep. Got awake around 3:30. Laid there for about a half hour thinking about the project I got going on in my backyard, which is the root cellar, and it's going very well, shockingly well. I keep praying that everything goes well, because man, you get a 1,500 gallon, it's actually a 1,700 gallon cistern. I didn't get the septic tank, I got a cistern, but it's 4 inches of reinforced concrete. It's you only get one shot at putting that baby in right. And it's in the hole, it's covered up. I'm getting more dirt to backfill because here on the mountain, we have this thing called rock. And it's pervasive. As a matter of fact, my excavator and neighbor said that he has not seen, and he's dug all over this mountain, he's not seen so much rock. So I have the lot with the most rock. And I'm not talking just little stones. I mean, we have enough of those little stones. I'm talking boulders. So when he pulled the boulders out of the hole, and that was another thing, we had 2 massive boulders that we couldn't work around, so we had to change the hole a little bit. When he pulled them out of the hole, he ended up with not enough dirt to fill it back in, so I have to haul dirt in from elsewhere to fill it in, which is okay, because you know what? If it's not deep enough, it's not going to function, so you got to get it in the ground. It also gives me a little more time to build the ventilation and the hatch, the doorway, the risers, And that's why I woke up. I'm thinking about how I want all this to be built, the different things, because this is not something you can Google. This is not something you can, this is a problem to be solved without a solution out there. But consequently, I'm videotaping the whole process, and I'm going to put it on DVD or memory stick. I've been told by people no one has DVD players anymore, and no one even watches DVDs anymore. So I'm putting them on memory sticks. It's a little more expensive, but I can do things on memory sticks like put invoices, bills, documents, plans. I can put those on memory sticks, and you also get the video. So anyway, that's the plan, and hopefully I can have everything done and edited and reproduced for Prepper Camp. Yeah, that would be awesome, right? That would be too awesome. Speaking of Prepper Camp, James, the intrepid commander, talked about Prepper Camp last night. Rick Austin limits the amount of tickets that are sold. Okay, so he must have upped the limit this year for some reason. And he said it's going to be the biggest one ever. So if you don't have your tickets, man, you should have got them months ago when they were cheaper, because they go up. The earlier you get them, the cheaper they are. They go up, you get closer to the event. You cannot buy them at the door. So don't expect to show up at Prepper Camp and be allowed in. It don't work that way. Okay? So But Prepper Camp is an awesome event. And it's like James said, if anything's a prepper mecca, this is it. And it is. It's just unbelievable. Over 60 classes over a 3-day period. And he has a speaker Friday nights and a speaker on Saturday nights. The keynote speaker is Saturday night. And it's always good food and good times. And I think James said 8 of the 12 PBN hosts will be there. Signing autographs. I'm chuckling. I'm in the office. Hear this squeaky chair? This is a different squeaky chair. Let's see. I did make some notes before I got on here. I'm doing all kinds of stuff right now. You know, when you can't sleep and your mind's working overtime, I mean, geez. You know, the rant the other night. You guys are probably still talking about that. Sometimes you'd get upset. You know, sometimes you just want to yell. Okay? And, well, thank goodness that James lets us yell every once in a while. I was upset that we let things, a collective we, and what I mean by a collective we, not the sheeple, okay, people that actually have common sense and use it, okay, those people, the collective we, let this get out of control. You know, at first it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve, which everybody understood that, everybody pitched in, and everybody did it. And I think it shocked the politicians and the people, elected officials, at how complacent and compliant the population was. And that shock turned into, hubris. The unbelievable hubris that these people have to think that they can control, number one, our environment. Okay, that virus is going to do what viruses do. It's going to spread and mutate and, there's even some speculation, because we don't know everything about our human body. We don't know. We have a lot of good guesses, but we don't know. There is some speculation that as you grow as a child, and part of your development is being exposed to certain viruses, which in turn unlock genetic memories. So part of this is a theory. Oh boy, I got to do some voiceover for Sarah Hathaway, and I'm losing my voice. That's not good. Anyway, part of the theory is that you get exposed to common viruses that you get over in childhood, and this unlocks genetic memories, so we don't have to go back. And everybody's not a clean slate when they're born. They're just not, because you'd have to explain the wheel over and over and over and over again. There are a certain amount of knowledge that, scientists can't explain it, okay? So the theory is it's actually in your genetic code, and exposure to these viruses unlocks those memories so that you don't have to relearn everything from birth. And they think that, that's why kids are able to learn languages so quickly. And, if you have a bilingual family, the kids usually grow up knowing both languages, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm way off the track here. Way. I get on this virus kick. I want to put a shout out for membership at PBN. Okay. if you're not a member, oh man, you're missing so much. So much. Let me give you an example. James just posted a video on what preppers can do right now with $100. Okay? Don't you want to know what James thinks preppers should do right now with $100? I mean, that would be a great video. Last week, we posted a video, James did, and it's for members only. Members only get this deal. There's a lot of deals on the members only side on top quality protective masks. Okay, this is not the little cloth masks that not the face diapers we've been wearing for a year. This is military grade nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare masks. Okay? I got a line of masks. For years, I have not had this. My wife has been complaining to me. The warden, by the way, if you go to prepper camp, you're going to be able to meet the warden. Okay? You're gonna see the woman that changed my life forever. Forever. I can never go back to the guy I once was. And if you want to meet her, there's a draw for you, PBN family. If you're interested in seeing what the warden looks like, and there you go. Anyway, this deal on masks, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to do it. Okay, but I'm doing it, and I'm going to do it at prepper camp too. The exact same deal at prepper camp. So if you're not a member and you're going to prepper camp, you'll be able to get this exact same deal that's being offered on the members only side. There's been a huge, I don't know why, there's been a huge interest in quality protective masks. But there has been. And I found this line. They're top quality, manufactured in Texas, and they do it all. They do it all. This is not military surplus. This is the stuff that's grade A, top quality. I would not feel comfortable talking about masks that weren't. Okay? It's a life support system that when you need it, it has to work. So these tested, tried, true, used by many nations, many different countries are using this for their first responders and their military personnel. So these are top quality masks, and you can't get this deal. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to tell you about it, because I think if they found out that I was doing this deal, they may take my dealership license away. So you won't get a top quality protective mask anywhere else any cheaper. So that's what I'll say about that. But members only get this deal. Sorry, PBN family, I can't advertise it. Like I said, they may take my dealer status away if they found out what I was doing. Something we're doing right now here in the Jones homestead is chickens. I know we've done chickens before, but those were laying chickens, and these are meat chickens. Okay? So a few weeks ago, I told you about it. We got 40 of these chickens, and we're raising them up. They're staying in the barn that used to be the boys' goats barn, the smaller barn. That's another thing. When you build these structures, okay, you have something that you can use and adapt for all kinds of things. Okay, so there these 40 chickens. 8 weeks, you butcher them. They go to freezer camp. So what we're doing right now is we're tracking everything, every expense with these chickens. This is something we haven't done before. So this is kind of an experiment. 40 chickens. How much does it cost to raise 40 chickens, 8 weeks, and butcher them? Is it worth it? Now, first of all, there's no comparison between these chickens and the chickens you get at Costco. Okay? I chuckle because there is no comparison. You don't know what conditions those chickens were raised in. You don't know what they ate. Yeah, they can say organic, they can say free range, but there's a lot of interpretation there. So our chickens, we know they are organic and free ranged, and they're getting fattened up nicely. But we are keeping track of how much the bedding costs, how much, the feed, whatever we do, whatever expense we're using on these chickens, we're tracking. So we're going to know how much it costs per chicken. And so far, our chickens are right around $6. $6. So I think we're going to be, let's see. Yep, it's 17th of September, 16th and 17th. We could go maybe to the 20th of September. Give them a couple more days to fatten them up, and but right now, the end of August, they're at $6 a chicken, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Have you priced whole chickens? Wow, everything's going up. Yep, everything's going up. Hey, I wanted to tell you this too. This is another part of a rant that I've been thinking about. See, I've been resisting the rants. I have. You would be proud of me because I'm not on this thing every 10 minutes when something bad happens in the news. But so the debacle in Afghanistan, Patriot Power Hour guys talked about it. Man, there's so much in the news right now that those guys are going to have a great show next week. There's danger for the petrodollar. Yeah, that would throw the economy into a shock. The petrodollar is a deal we struck with Saudi Arabia and OPEC. I think it's OPEC. It may be just Saudi Arabia. But the idea is if you want to buy oil on the world market, you first have to buy dollars, which props up and supports the dollar. Okay? This was part of the deal, winning World War II and all that kind of stuff. When we saved the world from tyranny, once again, we struck. And if that is in danger, wow. The dollar will be bad news. But that's not what I wanted to tell you about. I wanted to tell you about Afghanistan. Boy, when you don't get sleep, you're all over the place. So Afghanistan, 2 possibilities for Afghanistan. First possibility is they were so stupid and so incompetent that they did not realize that an outcome like this, and what I mean by outcome like this, is a total collapse, which has happened. So stupid, it's so oblivious, so incompetent that they made this decision, okay? In which case, they should be brought up on charges. Dereliction of duty. They should be in jail for what has happened in Afghanistan. Honest, hard time jail for being so stupid. I mean, they're in these positions to act on the United States' best interest and the world, but first the United States and then the world. and they didn't do it, they should be brought up on charges. The second possibility, there's only two possibilities, is that they deliberately did it, in which case they should be brought up on treason. So you decide what you think your elected leaders are actually doing, but those are the only two possibilities, as I see it. How this debacle came about. And then Biden goes and says, oh, I'm thinking about extending the August 31st deadline of pullout. And then the Taliban says, no, we don't like that idea. You need to be out now. And then Biden says, okay, we're going to stick with the 31st of August as the deadline. So he's siding with the Taliban over our allies. I don't care if you are senile. I don't care. This is unacceptable. I mean, the Taliban is running our foreign policy for us. I am leaning to the second thing, not the first thing. You can't be that stupid and incompetent. You really can't. So I think they're trying to run the United States in the ground, discredit us worldwide, and just eliminate us from the face of the planet. I think that's what they're doing. I'm telling you, our government is not on our side. And if you don't know that by now, I have to ask you, why are you listening to PBN? Yeah. Gosh, and it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking what's going on in Australia. I always pictured Australia and the Aussies as rugged individualists. You know, the pioneering spirit that used to abound in the United States was still alive in Australia. They were tough individuals. And man, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And I'm with James about Canada. I mean, how Trudeau rode into town on his father's coattails, and how that guy stays in office, I'm baffled. Talk about your mealy mouth worm. There you go. That's what I think of Trudeau. He is not a leader. Anyway, PBN family, it is 10 minutes after 6 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody out there is doing well in radio listening land, and I hope you're continuing to prep on. Don't forget to look at Fortitude Ranch as a viable plan B. Okay? FortitudeRanch.com. Just check it out. Let them know Dave Jones sent you. You get a 10% discount on any membership you decide to go with. Say, Dave Jones, the NBC guy, turned me on to this. He said I get 10% off. And, I mean, it's not for everybody, but as you might understand, Fortitude Ranch has grown this past year. Between the pandemic, the election, and everything else that's going on, the civil unrest, we've expanded to Tennessee and Texas. There, two great states with that start with T. So we have new locations all over. We have one in Nevada, one in West Virginia, and we are also looking for a ranch manager for West Virginia. Okay, so if you're thinking about a whole new lifestyle and want to get away from it all, and we prefer people with military, veterans with military background because, it's an easier transition, but we will take anybody with, experience. And you want to move to West Virginia. You got to be able to live there, okay? Got to be able to live there. But look at it this way. When the collapse happens, you're already there. Already there. If you're interested, check it out, fortituderanch.com. And talk to Drew. Tell him Dave sent you. Okay, PBN family, take care and prep on.